Alright peeps, welcome back to another World of Tanks video. Today we are watching me playing in the T-34. You're probably thinking, why am I playing in this tank? This is not a high tier tank, it's not a tank that I need to play to grind through. I've already got both of the tier 6s unlocked. Well, I decided pretty randomly, well I've been wanting to do it for a while, but the time at which I decided to do it was pretty random, to 3-mark this tank, because I'd been on 2 marks for quite a while, and I just thought I may as well finish it off. As you can see, thanks to the Mark of Excellence mod, we are at 3 marks currently, but these 4 replays I'm going to show you are part of the progression I had getting to the 3rd mark. And by the way it's going to work is the first 3 are going to all be ace tankers, and then the 4th is going to be the 3rd mark battle. And I think I got a 1st class in that one, or something along those lines. Anyway, we are on Wide Park, and we are against tier 4s, which means we are pretty much god in this situation, because we have view range, we have DPM, we have penetration. The only thing we don't have is an incredibly accurate gun, but that doesn't matter when you're firing bullets not bullets. I've been too influenced by people I do stuff with. Shells. When you're throwing shells at people every 1.9 seconds, which is the reload I have in this. And by the way, keep in mind, when I was marking this thing, my commander was not even 100%. So, yeah. I haven't been playing with rations or whatever the premium consumable is. Just RAM events binos, I'm pretty sure. Camo, obviously, and my crew skills are pretty crap as well. I don't have any rhyme or reason to the way that they are set up. Either way, we've already done like over 1,000 combined in this battle, and it's just the beginning. So, what we just have to make sure about in this battle is we don't let the Panzer 5-4 do too many bad things for our team, because that's the most powerful tank in their team, and we have to make sure that it gets taken out. Unfortunately, we don't manage to loop a shell through the tiny window there. But we've got a T-28 on a one-shot now who's dead, and a Matilda on a one-shot. I believe that's a Matilda, right? Yeah, the Matilda's on the one-shot. We've got full hit points, 25 TP on the enemy team, and the Panzer 5-4 takes 1 for the team as well, which leaves him on 1-shot, 2-shot territory for us. So unfortunately, we missed a few shots on the 25, and I'm waiting for him to cross over again, because I'm pretty sure that he will, and I think we put like 2 or 3 shots in. It looks like just 2. At this point, I feel... oh yeah, no. At this point, I noticed that the T-34S is exposed, and then I feel I have to make a pressure on the Panzer and the people near our base, because they are ridiculously out in the open and all of that. And, well, not out in the open, but if you look, T6 medium out in the open, STVZZ39 Czechoslovakian fax machine, 25 TP. This is the only guy who's really, like, safe for us. Safe against us. And then this is a prime example of why view range is so important in this game. Keep a close eye on how close this T6 gets to us, right? And keep in mind also, I have 6th Sense on this tank. And he has American view range. If he had binos, he would have outspotted me, but you'll just see what happens pretty much. Look, he's trundling along through the middle of the open, on top of the highest point on the map. Almost, apart from, like, where our TDs are. And look, he's what? 250 meters away? And he's stationary, which means he doesn't have binos. Or he's got a dead commander or something, and look, he's just clueless. He doesn't even spot us. That is why you need view range. Because that's what happens to you, and then you're like, well, what the hell, how did I die? Who was shooting me? Just view range, that's all I have to say. 25 crosses through the open again, in the same place as to where he was before, and so he gets punished for it. Panzer 5-4. RNG says no to us a few times, and then yes to us on the last one, and then we know he's definitely a one-shot at this point. I can't find an angle on him, and then at this point is when I realise we have to go in. He's a one-shot, the M10 can't help him that much. The Stug, we've no idea where he is at this point. And the other guys are all completely focused on our people on the other side. You can see I look behind me to double check. So we're on 3 kills currently, and we are at 2,500 combined. We haven't lost a single hit point in health yet. There's the M10. The Panzer 5-4 finishes off the T-28, who decides to make a pressure on him, which is a really bad idea considering the T-28 is a tier 4 with no armor, and the Panzer 5-4 is an overpowered Seal Clubber's premium. He bounces a premium round, and of course we have the rate of fire. We get to finish him off straight into the turret after bouncing the first shot. I think I load a gold for him as well, just in case. Something I learned while marking is never hesitate to load gold if you need it. A lot of times against, for instance, IS tanks and higher tiers and tanks with decent armor, I would just load the gold. It would not be a case of, you know, wasting the ammunition, firing not fully aimed shots, you know, just firing on the move. I would just load it and just deal with it, because any damage you fail to do is costly. Now at this point, I get spotted crossing into this position. Right? And I'm thinking, okay, where's the Stug then? I assume that because it's low tiers that the Stug has not moved that much. The Stug was in here with us. And so I think maybe he's in this bush. Or maybe this bush. And then I decide I should probably make a pressure simply because our team is going to die on the other side, near our base if we're not careful, and then at that point, that's bad news for us because the enemies will have our base. So I'm pushing across. My aim is to get to here, and then I'm in cover again. But I get spotted crossing across here, and I get hit by the Stug from that position. Of all positions, I get hit for a second time. He's got gold loaded, and then I just try and get into cover behind this little mound, whatever this is, with this little thing on it. And now we're safe. This is good. We've also got a Lago for support. I decide to poke and put one shot in. I try and get a second, that hits the dirt, and then I don't risk poking again. And then I wait for the Lago, who has a brain. Who would have thought that teammates would have some brain in them? Look, Stug is going for Lago. I go in for Stug. Stug shoots Lago once. Lago rams Stug. And Stug is now dead. Excellent teamwork. I say affirmative, and I raise the gun. Tally-ho. And all that. We are at 3,000 combined and 6 kills. We have our top gun. But there are still 3 tanks left. Can we kill them all? Gotta kill them all. No. I just combined the Wacky Races theme with Pokemon. That was professional. Okay. T-34S has got his ass to us. T-34 ass. Sure. I had to, I'm sorry. We pelt him with little 57mm shots. And then Cheehee is also dead. And there is our... Which medal is it? I keep forgetting. It's either like Pools or Radley Walters or something for 8 kills. I can't remember. One of them. Whatever the medal is for 8 kills, we got it. Along with the Top Gun and, like, 3,500 combined. Yeah. Now we will check out the second replay. So see you guys in a second. Alright, so here we are on Himmelsdorf against tier 4s again with no arty. It's always nice when you get this kind of matchup. I skipped driving up the hill because it would take forever and be a complete waste of time. And what do I notice instantly? That they have the majority of their forces in the low ground. So you know what that means. We are going to go full, as Skill would say, banana mode! Lux is looking the other way. Get it? Looking, because he's a Lux. Sorry. We just auto-aim on him, shoot him until he's dead, and then there's a B1. And we just decide to eat this B1. He does get a few shots into us, which does surprise me, and a few of mine bounce, which also surprises me. But I know not to load the gold, because he is only a French heavy. We also spot the Hetzer. One day he will die. And there we go. B1 is dead. Excellent. We already have 850 damage. Now, at this point I notice there's 2 dirt guns and an M8 looking at us. The last thing we want to do is poke right now. So here's what I do. I be patient. Waiting, waiting, waiting. There the Hetzer's moving. Look, he's angled a bit away from us. He's angling towards us. And he angles away. And I just had to poke and shoot, and I managed to track him. And I retrack him. The M8, yes, is shooting at us, but I decide to finish off the Hetzer, and then I start shooting at the M8. This is kind of a bad trade because I give away a lot of my hit points, but I feel it's worth it because I get to take out almost 2 entire tier 4s. And here, look, I noticed the Panzer IV just shot. He's got a decently long reload, so I put 2 shells into him, and then I pull back because I just want to play safe. And I wait again. And he shoots again, and so I poke again. 1, 2, 3, and he's dead. Excellent! We have taken no damage from either of the derp guns, and we have taken out 1 tier 4, a tier 5, and the majority of another tier 4. Actually no, 2 entire tier 4s because of looks. Now it's a simple matter of heading down the hill and taking out the remainder of their team who sat down in the useless position at G7. M8 is trying to run, as you can see, but we are ready for him, and he is not. He dies to our T-28 ally. Now, we've got a Stug, a KV-1 and a SAU-40. SAU-40 I want to take out because he is a one-shot. Unfortunately I hit the KV-1, but the second shot goes in, the Stug gets a shot into us, we track the Stug, and then KV-1 is travelling through the open with his turret pointing the wrong way. And now Stug, there we go, finish the Stug off, and now the P-43, can I get my top gun? There's 2 tanks left, and no. And then here, okay, our T-28 drives in front of me once, and drives in front of me again. So as you can imagine, I was kind of annoyed at him, because he just cost me my top gun. I could have easily killed that M10, before anyone else got the kill, and got another top gun. But it is what it is. 2.5k combined, 5 kills. Pretty good battle. Now we will check out the third one, and then after that, finally, the third mark battle. Alright guys, here we are with the third replay. By the way, I forgot to mention in the last one, that was mainly an example replay of how to play safe yet also get plenty of use out of a battle, because what happened there was we simply made sure that we didn't take too much damage, and the damage we did take was a risk it for reward kind of damage, where we knew we had dealt more and would deal more than the enemy. And in the first one it was a case of how to do enough to make sure that you can hopefully win at low tiers, because winning at low tiers is surprisingly hard because you have the majority of new players at low tiers, and so you have to work even harder. But of course the stakes are lower because no one really cares whether you do well or bad at low tier, because no one expects too much. It's like tier 6, 7 and above where people kind of expect more of you. So here we are on, which map is this again? Serene Coast. I always forget the names of these maps, even though I've played on them so much. I remember the maps themselves, but just not the names or the locations on the map. On the actual mini-map, I remember locations on the physical driving around on the map thing. It's weird. I have my ways of doing stuff, and it makes sense in my head, but not in anyone else's. Anyway, we've come to the usual hold-down position at C1. And what do we notice? They have a lot of people. This is a manageable amount of people. That is not. Also, I noticed that the enemy T-34 is using skill camo, so I raise my gun and I wiggle a bit to see if he notices. Now we've got an Excelsior coming. And the Excelsior has got insane armor that we can't really do much to unless we load gold. He puts 1 shell into us, and I'm already deciding to get distance, because we've got 3 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 5 to 7 tanks over here, and 3 versus 6 is not. No, it's no. So I take a position that I pretty recently discovered and started using when I noticed that badness is happening at C1, and it works just so incredibly well. It's this little clump of trees and bushes here at A4. You have the perfect angle on anyone who's trying to push. Also, I have gold loaded. This is what I was talking about. Like, I don't care if it's a waste against same tier tanks, but dealing damage and killing enemies and winning is important. Plus, keep in mind, I did lose credits a lot in a lot of the battles that I did, but at the same time, I made a lot of credits overall, just from the amount of battles that I played. So I made like, I can't remember, it was like between 1 and 300,000 credits, just in my session playing like like marking this tank, and a lot of them I lost tens of thousands of credits, so loading gold is not a bad idea, just to do stuff. Also, we set the Excelsior on fire, and that's just marvelous. So 1.3 thousand. Yeah, what I mean by loading gold isn't a bad idea. It's just, you know, like, okay, this is something that I think once Lemming Rush said, and I did not hear something truer than what also second fire of the battle. He said, I think once, I'm gonna load gold because I don't want to risk not dealing damage. And it's just this case of, if you don't successfully deal damage, in some cases you can risk losing. And is that not a more real case of pay to win than anything else? Well, apart from overpowered premium tanks. But like, as far as base game mechanics that you as the player can use, right? Not just as a pay to win player, but as a just play to play player. Play to play, yes. You're playing to play, to play to play. If you spend more credits and load ammunition that has better penetration, you have a higher chance of dealing damage. Which means you will deal more damage, you will get a better score, and you will win more easily. I don't know. I mean, leave your opinions in the comments, please, because to me that seems as valid as anything else. Also, we see that there's 2 people in the cap right now, so as much as I want to take care of this T-34, I know I have to go back to base, because I have risked in the past taking out an isolated target while there are enemies in the cap, and losing because of it. So I just try and put some shots into him as he's running away, and as I'm running away as well. But unfortunately, we do not manage to catch him. So he is still at large as it was. So, Churchill 3 and KB... is that a KB1 or a KB222? It's a KB222, are in the cap. Our T-34... is that a T-34? What is that? Yeah, that's a T-34. He manages to take out the KB222, and now we are moving in on the Churchill. But our other T-34 does take quite a few hits, and is now on 8 hit points. the Churchill 3 left the cap. And now we have standard loaded, we did have gold loaded because of the KV, and we successfully finish him off without taking any damage in return. We are up to just over 2,000 combined right now. We are at 5 kills, and we have just over half hit points left. And it's 4 versus 4. Well, technically 4 versus 3 and 1 RT. Our Churchill is horribly alone against, like, for all the enemy team. So he, unsurprisingly, does die. And at this point I'm going to speed it up slightly. Because what I do is I slowly work my way towards where we last knew where the last known location of the enemy T-34 is. There you go, using the words. So I stop in each bush consecutively to trying to work out where he might be, if anywhere. Activating binoculars as I go. Playing it safe, because we have 7 minutes. We can afford to play it safe and not throw it. Moving up again. Back to the same original C1 bush. And he isn't here. At this point I ask the S-35 if he wants to push with me, because it could be useful. Our T-34, while on 8 hit points, is being incredibly aggressive down on the other flank. And I don't know how he does it, but he's incredibly lucky in his battle. He survives all the way to the end. And I tell him to stay safe, because he has low HP, but I'm sure he knows that. And at this point we spot the Panzer IV. There he is, on full hit points. And we don't want to risk taking damage, because that is a bad thing. So what we do is we try and stay safe, also trying to stay safe from the artillery. And our other T-34 heads in. Again, playing super aggressively, but also really well. He's, as I say, really lucky in this one. I'm trying to run away. and get into a position where I can get a good angle on him, but unfortunately this tiny slope is too steep. So I have to turn around. This is all costing time. I believe I get a few shots on him here. No, I don't actually, because he's actually going behind that mountain. So the T-34 does about half, no, like 2/3 hit points to him, which is insane. I then move in. At this point I'm feeling super slow, because T-34 does not have the best mobility in the universe, but it's not awful either. We finish off the Panzer IV. And now we know where the KV-1 is out of nowhere. He is somewhere in the middle. I'm pinging madly, and I take one shot of damage, and I bounce one, and there he is, on 200 hit points. Now here, I'm also very concerned about the artillery. Luckily, is that the S-35 who puts one shot in? I believe so. And now I can see he's going sideways, so I try and risk it and put one shot in, but unfortunately it bounces. And we can see that the T-34 is getting behind our S-35, so we know we have to do something. Luckily, our other T-34 is braver than me, and finishes off the KV-1. Now I move in aggressively against the enemy T-34, because we know we have to deal with this guy. I'm trying to save our S-35, and here, really, I should have gone just straight up this slope, and not gone around, but I decided to go around. Also, is this at the right speed? Yeah, this is at the right speed. It felt slow for some reason. Alright. I'm yelling for help, even though it's not me that needs help, it's the S-35, who takes one shot of damage, and the T-34 and the S-35 finish each other off pretty much, except they don't, because it's our other T-34 that finishes off the T-34, but you know what I mean. They become died at the same time. Now, I invite the other T-34 to a platoon because he has 3 kills, which means we will get brothers in arms if he survives. Which I've already revealed he does not, but it is alright. It's the... what's the phrase? It's the thought that counts, yes, it's the thought that counts. It's the effort we put in. And now, because there's only 2 minutes left, I personally think it's a better idea to cap than it is to try and hunt down the arty. And the other T-34 agrees, which is nice. So I go ahead and just get into the cap, pretty much. I will speed this up. You can see we're down to 2 minutes. The siren goes off. I sit over here and I pre-aim on this corner because I have a hunch that the arty will try and come out of this gap. Our other T-34 sits over there and covers the other angles. And in a few seconds we should see the brave artillery trying to save the day. T-34 says, thanks guys, winky face, and I say no problem. There's the RT. He unfortunately finishes off our friend, but we know he's on reload and I don't risk taking any chances here. I aim my shot and finish off the artillery for 7 kills and almost 2,500 combined. GG indeed. Now, finally, the 4th battle, the final battle, which is the 3rd mark, and this one is different in one very simple way. We are not fighting against similar tier tanks. We've had against tier 4s, against tier 4s again, both with no arty, right? We didn't have any arty in the first one, and in this one we were against all tier 5s and 1 arty. In the next one, it's a very different story, as you will see. Alright, so here we are on Prokhorovka against tier 7s with 2 artillery, one of which is a Leffe. Oh, what fun this matchup is, right? Luckily, because we're on Prokhorovka, we can play as a sort of a spotter. Not an incredibly mobile or anything like that spotter or whatnot, but our spotter is currently dead already because, well, it's World of Tanks, and light tank players don't know how to play light tanks. But what we do is we simply park ourselves on the hill, activate our binoculars, and wait for a bit. Riveting gameplay, right? This is what marking tanks is like. It's all like shooty, 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 deathy, deathy, death against like same and lower tiers, and then you get this matchup and you're like, Also, pay attention to the vast majority of our team sat on the 2 line. I love World of Tanks players. They have such big brain holes. We're still waiting here to spot things. Oh, look, an enemy! Reversing. Aiming. One shot. An optimistic shot into the dirt. And that's our start. 91 damage! Amazing. Oh look, a light tank! Somehow he didn't outspot us. Miss. Bounce. Ultimate disappearance. This battle was a slow start and an annoying one, but I persevered. So what I'm doing here is I'm spotting in front, and I'm just paying attention to the side, in case someone gets spotted again. And then look, there's the VK. The same VK who poked before. He poked before and he took a shot. I wonder if he will take a shot again, because he has poked. Oh wow, I never saw that one coming. I get the spotting. And then Artie says hello to his face. Little light tank boy going through the middle of the open. Tracking shot. Damaging shot. Killing shot. Goodbye. P-43 decides to poke again in the same position. He takes more shells. Do you see a theme here? World of Tanks players. Not much brain. Oh look, he goes forwards again. Oh look, there's someone else. Unfortunately, my RNG goes to kind of nowhere on these few shells, and then I decide to get rid of the houses because the houses are annoying and keep getting in the way. At this point I decide that no one will really push on the hill too aggressively, and so I decide to spot the people in the middle instead, using this bush. This is what I like about this position, you can do lots of things at once. So I spot the enemy VK, and I spot the enemies pushing towards us. VK, I don't know what he's doing right now. And the same with the 85, and the P... Like, look at them all! Still doing the same things that they were doing before, and still taking damage for it. It blows my mind. Not that my RNG is anything to write home about. And here, the T-34 was sat behind a house. He is no longer sat behind a house because the house got demolished by yours truly. Now we're just pelting him with 57mm rounds, over and over again, plus we get the tracking assistance. And you know what I said before about the enemies not pushing the hill too aggressively? Yeah, I was wrong. But we are winning by 4 tanks, so I'm not too concerned. We have support from the IS, the Panzer IV, the RT. And who's next to us? A Skoda and an SU-100M1. And the SU-100M1 is almost a one-shot. He is a one-shot. He's almost dead. And the Skoda dies. And here I'm just trying to get a balance between spotting them, like keeping them spotted, and occasionally trying to do some damage here and there. Unfortunately, I don't get to put any rounds in, and I'm spotted again. And we know that they have a VK alive in the middle. However, the VK is not shooting me yet, which makes me think he fell back. Turns out I was wrong. Or did I think... Yeah, I thought he'd fallen back. I honestly did, because he would have shot me there. He would have poked and shot me, but maybe he just didn't have an angle. I don't know. Either way, I'm spotted again. The Super Hellcat and the Rudy USSR are still sat on the hill. And the Super Hellcat makes a super aggressive pressure against the SU-100M1. 1 shot in. 2 shots in. He finishes off the SU, but we get to finish him off as well. And then at this point, I think it's the VK. Yeah, the VK starts putting shells into us. 1. 2. Takes out our commander. We repair the commander. And then a really lucky one, a third one, which takes out our loader. Now we're trying to use the Super Hellcat corpse for cover. And there's the VK. But funny thing about having a dead loader, it means that when we shoot, we load just in time for the aiming to finish. So we actually don't have to worry about holding our shots due to aim time. So that's a funny thing. Anyway, at this point, I was on 94.99%, right, of Mark of Excellence, so I knew all I had to do was shoot 1 more round. And I'm really worried about the Rudy brushing me and just obliterating me, but luckily, there's the Hummel. And there's the one shot we needed. And we have a dead loader still. We're getting rushed by both the RT and the Rudy. The Rudy puts one round into us. We finish off the Hummel. And then please let me penetrate him. RNG says no. But the RT finishes off the Rudy. And there's only an M10 left. And now he's dead as well. That, right there, was our third mark. 2.4 thousand combined. And 3 kills. Not as good as the other battles, but pretty good considering we were bottom tier. And yes, now we will go ahead and go through all of the post-game stats for all of these battles. And finish the video. So I will see you guys in a second again. Alright, here we are with the battle results. This one was the first replay on White Pack. As you can see, it is a Riley Walters, not a Pulse. I don't remember all these medals that I haven't really got very many of. I've got a total of 4 of this thing, so yeah, as opposed to Top Gun, which I've got 52. I also got High Caliber, and of course an Ace became top. 2.7 thousand damage, 8 kills, 1.3 base experience, 32,000 credits made. Let's see, and the other one was this one on Himmelsdorf, I believe. Let's see, what were we against? Yeah, this platoon. So this one was another ace, no medals though, because of course we didn't get a Top Gun thanks to our ally. We did a lot of things here. We came top again on XP. 2.4 damage, 5 kills, 1,000 base XP. Another 30,000 made. Then the third one was this one. Right, yeah, this one. So another ace, another Top Gun, another High Caliber. 2.3 base, no, not base, 2.3 damage, 7 kills, 1,000 base, and only 9,000 made because of all the gold rounds I fired. But it goes to show that the ace is actually quite low for this tank. Also our other T-34 friend also got a Defender medal, so shout out to him. And then the last one was I don't know. This one? Yeah, this one! Doesn't see first class only for this one, but we got a spotter medal and our 3 marks of excellence. So on this one we came still at an XP, 1,100 damage, 3 kills, 800 XP, 1,400 spotting, and 20,000 made. And as you can see in here, I have my 3 marks, and as you can see, here's my commander, only 98. Started at 90, if I remember right, because I retrained him from this, I think. Anyway, because I think, yeah, look, I have another one. No, yeah, this one. This was the old one. That didn't have 6th sense. Yeah. Anyway, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Not the usual kind of thing that I do, because this is my first time ever 3 marking a tank, and I just thought I would share it. So, yeah. If you have enjoyed, make sure to go ahead and hit the like button down below. Comment if you wish, feedback, tips, tricks. Let me know if I should mark more tanks, and if so, like, I don't know, like, I watch skill, so I don't need that many tips or tricks about how to mark tanks, but just, like, how many tanks have you marked? What was your first tank you marked, etc. Do you enjoy it? Do you want more content like this? Subscribe if you have not already. And I will see you all in the next World of Tanks video, or live stream, or anything along those lines. So yes, thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you all in the next one.